the last few games in the Indian Premier League this year has left us expecting a tight run chase every game. Unfortunately for the Chennai Super Kings, that did not happen today, and they failed to chase down the 164 set by the Sunrisers Hyderabad. This is Uninvited Opinions, and welcome to today's episode of End of Days Play. So, Nags, we've had another chase which threatened to be a chase but ended up being, somewhat of a damn squib. Let's take a quick look at the match scorecard.
Yeah,
Right.
as you can see, Sunrisers got just a score just below par is what I would think. But I would say they should thank their youngsters for even getting this far. Because at one stage, when they had lost those 4 wickets at the top, and you knew that all the top guns were gone, it left us all wondering who is going to step up to the occasion. But we were pleasantly surprised to see two young players lift the responsibility on their shoulders and do a very commendable job to get them to the score that they eventually did. I would say it was a below par score, but I think Sunrisers always knew that their bowling side was their stronger point. So they would any day back their bowling side to contain and defend this total.
So at the end of the previous game, when Sunrisers brought in Kane Williamson, and then we were discussing about the Sunrisers squad balance or team balance actually, and we were wondering should they actually take out Priyam Garg and get in Vijay Shankar just to get an extra bowling option. Today we saw that Sunrisers actually don't need that because one, Priyam Garg got the runs. He proved why the management have trust in him and why they trust his ability to get those runs. And additionally, we also saw that Abdul Samad is also someone who can bowl useful leg spinners. And although he went for a few runs in the last over, I think he did a fabulous job right until that point. Between him and Abhishek Sharma, they bowled 4 overs for only 25 runs. If you excuse the final over that Abdul Samad had bowled, and I almost got the feeling that the onus was on CSK to actually make sure that they uh, chase down the total and make sure that they get it without any difficulty. Funnily enough, it was the Sunrisers Hyderabad who created all the drama.
Instead of Chennai threatening to win the game, it was SRH threatening to lose the game. Especially in the final over when Samad started off with a wide that went to the boundary, and 5 runs got shaved off the required tally. So you started really wondering as a Chennai fan, maybe there is indeed a ray of hope here.
Yeah, but I think it did bring to the fore one thing which everyone who's been following MS Dhoni for the past couple of years had known, but did not want to admit. But unfortunately, I think that today proved something that we have to take into consideration. Age is catching up with him. We've known for some time that he's not been the finisher we've known him to be, and but the one thing that we've always known that he was super fit, but is really struggling to get going at the end, despite spending a decent amount of time at the crease. You would normally, in a situation like this, against a rookie bowler in the final over, you would, in the days of the year, you would probably back Dhoni to get those runs and see CSK home. Unfortunately, it didn't happen today.
Yes, and another interesting observation was Dhoni down on his haunches at the latter stages of his innings. He would back himself to run all his runs, even if he's not hitting a single boundary. That is how fit an athlete he is. And to see him getting drained, whether it was really the conditions that were so demanding, or whether it is just that we still expect Dhoni to do what he has been doing over the years, is remains to be seen.
So I think the key thing that probably the CSK team needs to realize now that Dhoni is probably now no longer the finisher. He probably is going to be the anchor around whom the other hitters in the squad need to play around. So and I think that was the role he probably did well. It is just that I think CSK sorely lack the impetus that the innings needs right at the front when they're chasing a large total. And I think Shane Watson is woefully out of form. It was, we've known that in the past, Shane Watson is someone who was trusted by the CSK management. They've, let him take his time to find his feet. But what's interesting is, and this is my take on this, in the past, Shane Watson taking time to adapt himself to the tournament has not hurt CSK that much. but I think in this tournament it's probably beginning to hurt him. So if I was the CSK captain or coach, I would probably be taking a punt in the next game by dropping Watson and probably sending Sam Curran out to bat first, along with Faf du Plessis. And I think Faf has shown that if he plays out 10 balls, 10 deliveries, then he can really kick on from there. And he was still, again, in good touch today until he got run out. So my opening combination for next game would either would essentially be Sam Curran along with Faf du Plessis, and that opens up another overseas spot, which would allow CSK to bring in, either Imran Tahir or I would also go for another option, which is Mitchell Santner. Again, a very good spinner, a very useful lower order hitter, and a fantastic fielder to boot.
Yeah. Just to probably give some benefit of doubt to Watson today, the ball was seaming and swinging around a little today. In both innings, we saw Deepak Chahar had a beautiful opening spell, and you knew if the conditions remain the same, then Bhuvaneshwar will try to make the most of it. And it was beautiful to see, for a change in a T20 game, the swing bowling coming to the fore and keeping the runs down. So you knew something had to give, and maybe a younger Shane Watson would have fought it out.
But you did touch upon an interesting aspect. It was wonderful to see swing playing such a big part in both innings, actually. And Deepak Chahar was swinging it wonderfully. And again, in the when Chennai were batting, it was Bhuvi again who was swinging it really well. But I think the big talking point of the day today was the brilliant partnership between Abhishek Sharma and Priyam Garg. And at that point in time, when they lost Warner and Williamson of successive deliveries, you were wondering that this is probably playing right into Chennai's hands, and Chennai might just be able to restrict Hyderabad to a very gettable total. But then the way the two youngsters sort of played themselves allowed themselves a bit of time. Abhishek Sharma then took the initiative and started hitting the sixes, and then Priyam Garg really proved his mettle and picked his bowlers. He picked Sam Curran, I think in the 16th or 17th over, and that really then just set him on a journey to a wonderful half century.
Yes, it was a very precarious situation when both Warner and Williamson went off in successive deliveries, and Williamson strangely had a very poor judgment of a single and got himself run out. I would say it was him who has to. He only has to take the blame and not the youngster, poor Priyam Garg. But it was indeed very pleasing to see, first of all, that incident not playing Priyam Garg down. He got that out of his mind very soon. And in the company of Abhishek Sharma, they absolutely took the game away from Chennai. And Priyam Garg, for one, does not appear to be someone who has necessarily the big shots to clear the big boundaries, but he has a good head on his shoulders. He knows what angles to play with. I think he had the opportunity today, and at times, many a times, you wonder, when you have such rookies, you really have to throw them into the deep end to see whether they can swim back to safety. And today they actually swam very well.
True. It was an odd game in many ways. So you saw the bowlers swinging it up front as if it was the first day of a test match. You saw Kane Williamson getting agitated for getting run out. We don't know if he got agitated at himself or at Priyam Garg. You saw Dhoni struggling for fitness. So in a game full with such full of such interesting events, what's your pick for the fun event of the day?
The fun event of the day would be Warner facing Piyush Chawla and attempting a reverse sweep. And he probably changed his stance too early for Chawla to pick that, and he bowled it to the left-hander's leg stump, which turned out to be the off stump for the right-handed stance that Warner had switched into by that time, and ended up playing a late cut, which even a right-handed batsman would be proud of. So although it just resulted in a single, but it was great adjustment by both the bowler as well as the batsman.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It was interesting to see both the batsman and bowler adjust to the situation, and it was probably the latest of late cuts, as some might say. And even though it went only for just one run, it was an interesting passage of play. your pick for the player of the day? Who are you going to go with?
Priyam Garg for sure. Without his innings and without that partnership, I don't think Sunrisers would have made a match out of this in the first place. And it was funny to see how their partnership got Chennai agitated to some extent, or with all those overthrows and
Yeah.
all those no balls and dropped catches. My goodness, they were quite sloppy in the field.
Yeah.
So the youngsters Garg and Abhishek Sharma, I think, took good advantage of that, and I think their intent in their partnership is what actually got Chennai to make those mistakes. In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think Priyam Garg is the obvious choice, and with a notable mention for Abhishek Sharma as well. Right. So looking at the games for tomorrow, we've got the first double header of the tournament. So right through October, every weekend we're going to have double headers on both the Saturdays and Sundays. So tomorrow we've got the Royal Challengers Bangalore taking on the Rajasthan Royals in the first game, I think, which is going to be played at Abu Dhabi. And then you've got the next game,
Correct.
which promises to be a run fest, which is between the Delhi Capitals and the Kolkata Knight Riders, which is going to be played at Sharjah. So let's look at the first game, RCB versus RR. What's your pick? Who are you going to go with?
Okay, the cliche, it's a royal affair.
Yeah.
Okay. But both teams, I think, are playing for the first time in Abu Dhabi. But I think, in terms of the playing conditions and the field dimensions, RCB has more firepower in their batting lineup to probably see their team through.
You keep taking my choices away. So I'm now left with Rajasthan for tomorrow's game. Anyway, so
I think you should take
option.
the pick for the second game. You should take the first pick for the second game.
Well, so again, for both Delhi Capitals and KKR, it's their first game at Sharjah. Delhi are coming on the back of their first loss, while KKR have had two successive wins. So I am going to go with KKR purely because I think they've got probably a better and more varied bowling lineup compared to Delhi.
Okay, I have no reason to disagree with you. So I would have actually picked the same team and for the same precise reason. So
Ooh.
yeah, we are aligned there.
So you know how it feels now to be left without a choice. Well, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you for watching. If you like this episode, please like and share our videos. Subscribe to our channel to keep more videos coming your way. And stay tuned for our episode coming your way tomorrow. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.